day.
All right, thank you. Just pull up this business card template. Hang on one sec.
Do we want to pull up to be bureaucratic the agenda first?
Sure. Do you have it handy? Do you need me to pull it up?
I can almost have it. I almost have it handy. Give me a moment.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, one more moment.
Everybody has an interesting background when I'm looking at this. The colors are nice.
It's a competition, Dennis.
Fashion statements.
Okay, so I have the agenda up and of course my phone's ringing, so I'm gonna walk away to answer it.
Oh, good. Thank you, Laura. So this is our agenda. We're calling this meeting to order, 8:08 p.m. Any objections to the agenda? Anybody have any issues? I think we're all good, cool. Move on to public comments. Does anybody have any public comments to make? Communications committee related or otherwise, anything not on the agenda? Doesn't look like it. Moving swiftly. Business cards.
So I'm gonna drop the share.
Thank you. A hot topic around the neighborhood council, business cards. So we've been developing some looks and some ideas for our business cards for a little bit now. Plan is to share out where we're at with the entire board to collect some feedback, so that we can get some feedback and maybe make some changes ahead of the January board meeting. So the approach is multifaceted, where we kind of hear everybody on the board has like maybe a slightly different want for a business card. There's definitely people that have a need for a very traditional business card that they're going to be handing out physically. We also wanted to have an approach that's more technology forward, so like with a QR code. So the idea there is that it'll be a business card with a QR code on it. Somebody can take their phone and scan that card, and that'll download your contact into their phone. So they'll have your phone number, email address, contact information. And then the third approach is a step further than that, where if somebody doesn't want even like a physical card, we can also print stickers that's just like a QR code that you can stick to the back of your phone or back of your notebook, carry that around. If somebody wants your information, same thing, they can scan that QR code and download your contact information. So we figure we can offer all those options up to the board, and whoever wants what can pick and choose. It'll be pretty much the same cost as what we're spending on business cards right now. So what I can do is share my screen. There we go. This is not looking good. Sorry, hang on. I'm getting a bunch of weird. Just trying to keep you guys in a little bit of suspense.
That's all right.
I have to adjust some security settings. Here we go. Oh Lord. I think I might have to quit out of Zoom and come back. If it boots me out, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Having looked at many of these designs for many meetings, you have something to look forward to.
Dennis, what street are you on? I know we're both in Harvard Heights. Where are you?
Ardmore, about the middle of the street, 1750.
Okay,
Are
yeah.
you between Washington and Venice also?
Yes, yeah, we're closer to Washington though, so 1810 on Hobart, yeah.
Uh-huh. I understand you're in the earthquake preparedness interest also.
Oh, the block, I forget what the name of it is. That
Pool blocks, I think.
pool blocks, yes, that one.
That could be, that's part of it, yeah.
Okay. I'm back and I'm sharing. Yeah, you guys can see this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, cool. So, yeah, so again, we have like a few different looks to see. I know that the current iteration of the card has a lot more information on it. We wanted to start with a very scaled back approach. The thinking being that like a lot of the information that's on our current card should be contained on something else, whether it's like a flyer or something else physical that gets handed out. So the idea here is that the business card, again, is just like a traditional business card that kind of gives the board members a position. There's enough space here at the top that if a board member has multiple positions, as in, you know, like a president plus co-chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee, there's enough space up there. We can have 3 lines of text. And then, yeah, just like a very clean, straightforward approach on the traditional card. And then the QR code card, again, the idea here is that, you know, somebody will be able to scan this QR code and all the information here will download straight into their phone as a contact. We also have like an alternate idea here where instead of just like a paper card, we would issue something like this, almost like along the lines of like a hard plastic, almost like a credit card. So any board member that wants this could opt in for like this hard plastic card that, again, the same use, the same function rather, where it's a card that somebody can scan, but instead of it being like a flimsier paper card, it would be like a more permanent like credit card sort of a material. And then again, the third idea with the phone stickers, something we could issue to individual board members that didn't want any sort of card, but wanted a way for people to still be able to gather or retrieve their contact information. And again, that QR code it would be personal to each board member with their personal information. So that's that. And so again, the plan here is to send this PDF out to the board. I'll either get to it tonight or sometime tomorrow. And we'll have like a feedback window open for a week or 10 days to allow people to solicit feedback or give feedback that will then implement ahead of the January board meeting.
Raheem, maybe I didn't follow this very, very closely. How many alternatives are you giving to the board members to review?
So I mean, there's like single design approaches for each one. Like there's the traditional, like the designs are the designs. Like once the designs are kind of finalized, each board member will have like 3 options. You can either have a traditional business card that's like a physical card you hand out. You can have the QR code card that will just be either just like one single thing that you're issued, or just like a handful of cards that you're issued. Or the last thing is a sticker option. So there'll be 3 options once we get the design finalized, but we're only like teeing up or showing off 3 design approaches for each individual approach, if that makes sense.
Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I have my hand raised, and
Good,
so does
go ahead.
Laura. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I was waiting to be called on.
Thank you. So
Let me just say, I think this is fabulous. I can't even tell you. I love it so much. And I love the idea. Well, I'm not like, I don't know if I like your card right there, Raheem, but the ones you showed.
Yeah,
with
that one's
Daddy
not
on
one
it?
of, that's not the one. That one's been Xed out already, yeah.
Okay, but this, just personally, I love the second one because it allows me to be traditional, but also with a more progressive thing with the QR code. So I feel like I'm able to bridge both worlds. And you know, the design is fabulous. I don't know. I just think it's great. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember all of the other ancillary language that was on the former card. And I can't think of it right now, but I think it's fabulous. Just
Thank you.
great.
Yeah. So, I mean, on the old card, we had listed out all of our committees. We had, I think our physical address might have been on the old cards. We had like our meeting times, like it said that we met every first Thursday of the month. All that information is on the cards, which is, it's not a bad thing, but it's very cluttered. And again, that information, I think we should build something out that has all that information on it. But I don't think that it's appropriate. We didn't think it was necessarily appropriate for all that information to be on a business card.
My only other question, if I could ask, and I know you may be unable to answer it, it's the cost of having individual QR codes and the cost for the plastic credit card like card for those who only want that compared to traditional paper business cards.
Yep. Yeah. So I called, I had a chat with the guys at Print Depot, and they are a little bit more expensive than, Vistaprint or some of the other online printers. But I was able to talk through with them, and basically when they print business cards, they print them on sheets of like 24, right? And so generally they're like the furthest they'll come down is like a run of like 250 individual cards. But when I was explaining to him is that like the backs of all these cards will be exactly the same, only the front will change. And so from there, he was able to say that we could maybe work out something where they would come down to like being able to print like an individual sheet where the fronts were different, which would just be 24 cards. So I think they're willing to work with us, especially like given the scope of what this print job would eventually be if we end up doing, the traditional cards, the QR code version, the plastic version, all with the same vendor. I think it might give us some flexibility to work this out with them, especially given, again, that they can print like one sheet of 24. I think it makes it totally possible. We didn't get to price it all the way out with them just because we don't know, who's going to want what, and we hadn't gotten that far in the conversation with them. But I'm pretty confident the price won't be exorbitant. Oops, you're on mute.
And the cost of the QR codes?
So the QR code option that I found now is free. I think I might want to find one that maybe we pay a little bit for. It'll probably give us more options and just more stability, but even that, it's like it might just be like a one-time fee. We'll have all the costs. We'll have everything costed out ahead of the January 6th board meeting, so we can really dig into it then.
And then the last question, sorry, Raheem.
All good.
If this is all presented and approved in the January 6th, how long before we could expect to get cards? I mean, I'm just trying to decide if we should wait, if Greg should wait.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I can. January,
Are we talking about like a month or 3 months?
No. I think a month is even a long time. Like I think within the month of January, we'll have stuff back. It'll just be a matter of our graphic designers setting up the files because they're going to have to be set up in the way that they need them to be for us to get that discount on the 24 sheets thing. It might take them a few days to set up the files, and then it'll just be the turnaround from Print Depot, which I can't imagine to be more than a week, 10 days.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Laura, then Dennis.
Yeah, so a couple things. One, just the bureaucrat in me. Can you please, but by the end of the meeting, just send me this file so I can pop it into the online before you send it out to the rest of the board, because that's just kind of a rule. So 2 other things. We do have as you know, a QR code for our website, right? We have one that takes us straight to the web. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about QR codes for individuals here, right?
Yeah, so this is cool. So you can link a QR code to a file. So in this case, well, we make what's called a VCF file, which is like a virtual business card file.
Mhm.
And so like it basically like the QR code triggers a download of that file to your phone.
And I assume though, I guess where I'm going is it would be too ugly and cluttered to have the website QR code on one side of the card and the personal QR code on the other. That just kind of ruins the design, right?
Yeah, that'd be tough. I think what we could do is, in contacts, there is a line item for like a URL. We could just pop that URL in everybody's contact. But yeah, I think like throwing another QR code in there would be
but maybe the one that is just a sticker you stick on the back of the phone, maybe that can be designed in a different way that has both, for example.
Yeah,
here,
that's not a bad idea.
Click on this one to go to our website, because that's how people can sign up for our emails, right? And let me just say, and so it's so not perfect that however many people, and I don't know the number, at Ciclavia may have done it, they did not sign up for our emails, just so you know. Not one, not a single one.
Like zero. Okay.
Like as in zero. However, oddly enough, and I'm digressing, suddenly since Ciclavia, our actual openings on our emails have doubled. But we don't have any more people. I have no idea. It's probably weird.
Strange.
It's the weather. Okay, but back to this. The concern that I now have that I wouldn't have had, it's not a design concern, but there's an organization now called United Neighbors or Neighborhoods, not Neighborhood Council. And they're the ones going out after SB 9 and trying to, doing a motion, getting something on the ballot to overturn it. So I do feel that somehow on our cards and anywhere else, we need to have even tiny our full name. I mean, in other words, it would be ugly versus a clean
our full name
design.
right there in the back though, Laura?
Well, I mean, it's almost like if you could do that, the United Neighborhoods, the UN, United Neighborhoods, and then really tiny, like a border of the historic Arlington Heights, West Adams. I mean, just even tiny, and then go to Neighborhood Council. If that's something a designer thinks is a good idea, but somehow I don't, because Teresa, you're the one who got some emails where people were confused, right?
And it happened again today, just to give you some background, Raheem. There's an organization that they're called United Neighbors. They're not a neighborhood council, and they are, they got themselves together to talk about this SB 9, and they don't like it and blah, 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 blah. But today, even at CFAC, they submitted a letter, and I had to correct everybody in the chat. This is not the UNNC Neighborhood Council. This is just a group of neighborhoods like Brentwood and Silver Lake, or I don't even know.
Privileged neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Privileged single family neighborhoods.
Right. But I just think they're going to be around for this SB 9 thing, Laura. I don't know if we really.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm sort of reluctant to make unclean this clean design, but we
can try something and see if it
and it could be on the cluttered side and not on the logo side, right? Which would make well, I know. But I just wanted to bring it up because it's a little troubling. It could be treated almost like a border that someone have to squint and really see it. Maybe, you've got good designers.
Like I said, we can take a
squint. Really, what is the value of that though, Laura? If somebody has to squint to see it, then that means they can't see it anyway. And
I know. Okay, well, I don't really know what the solution is, but
like
given that this is a communications vehicle, I want to make sure we're telling them who we are and not, who they are. And this is just a weird thing that's maybe come up, has come up now. I am not positive that they're going to go away anytime soon, though. That's a different issue.
We'll take a look.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else, Laura? That's it?
that's it, unless somebody else says something interesting that I want to respond to.
I'm sure Dennis is going to say at least a handful of interesting things here. So
Well, a couple of things. First of all, Michael really nailed it with the layout and the colors. So yeah, every one of these alternates must include those colors. I like, before Laura raised this point, I was concerned that we make sure when how we personalize these cards, that we make sure there's a reference to the organization's website on them. And I would think as long as that URL appears on the information transfer, that's adequate to get everybody to the same place. And Laura's, this thing about Laura's comment, I'm personally not enamored of the way we were incorporated with naming 3 of the 6 neighborhoods, but we could distinguish ourselves from some upstart by just putting established 2002, which I think is our establishment date. Put that in there, that would distinguish us.
that's a good point. That's funny, Dennis, because I know that we had talked about that established date way back when we were working on the brand presentation. So thank you for bringing it back up here.
And can I be educated a little bit on the QR codes? Because when we talked about that, just making it up, well, the QR code that we will use, there will be a commonality of every QR code that identifies our council and the website. And I guess in addition, the individual. Will that include essentially not just the information like telephone numbers, but the link, in other words, the URL or the email address? Is that correct?
Yeah, so like if you go into your phone right now and like you pull up like your contacts, right? There's a bunch of different fields in a contact that can be filled out. Usually for your contacts, you don't have everything filled out, because it used to be like, there used to be like a line for like assistant's name, assistant's phone number, like birthday, all this stuff that like isn't necessarily filled out, right? We have the ability with this VCF file to fill out as much as that or as little of that as we want. So like it'll obviously be like the person's name, phone number if they opt in, if individual board members opts in to have that phone number present on that, the UNNC email address. We can throw the UNNC.org URL in there. I'm sure we can throw our social media handles in there, all that. So, and it'll be, if I'm getting your question correctly, each individual board member will have their own QR code that'll be personalized to their information. Some of that data in there will be, replicated social media handles and all that. But
I think you're breaking up, right?
sorry?
Oh, I didn't hear some of your comments there. I just it seems like there should be on the template. There should be some mandatory information such as the organization's URL and our name and this sort of thing. And then the individual fills out the rest. Is that the sense of it?
And when you say the individual, in this case, you're talking about board members, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Maybe-
Yeah, Charlie has it. Yep.
Oh, do you want to, is Laura going to go or do you want me to go?
No, Charlie, you go.
You can go.
Oh, just in terms of, I think 2 QR codes on one thing might be kind of confusing. That would be the only thing I would say if somebody was going to scan a QR code, on the back of somebody's phone, if they had to scan. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I do think the website is a great idea. And I think because it would be clickable if it was in the information on the right. So I think that would be probably, I think it would be sufficient and hopefully up our website numbers. But anyway, I just was thinking about the 2 QR codes, but I love it. They look great. And I think the QR code is such a great idea.
Yeah. I'm glad we're landing on the QR code. And I think like what Laura's point like brings up a definite thing that we need to solve for. We need to figure out how to get more people registered on our website. But I think like we need to find other ways to do that. The business card can't be it can't be our magic bullet for everything. This is like going to be a good tool for individuals to use to interact with individuals, and getting people to our website will just have to be another thing that we solve for in other smart ways. But thank you, Charlie. Yep, go ahead, Laura.
So my question is, if people who carry around business cards, I have to say, I'm not one of them. I whatever 500 business cards box was ever given to me still has 496 cards in it. So, I'm not a big fan personally of business cards, but if I'm going to carry around one thing that a person can scan about me, I could also maybe carry around little cards that are the scannable of the website. So if you could drop the scan, I want to show everybody what we had at Cyclovia, but I mean, yeah. And
Sorry, I forgot I was still sharing.
no, that's fine. But this is, if you can see this, then this is a flyer. But this is what we had at Cyclovia, which maybe we'll get one or two people at some point to sign up. But if we could also have a little card that we could also just hand out right and left, that doesn't have my name on it or Teresa's name or anybody's name. It just has the bottom part, not even the map or even the map. I don't know.
I think that's a really good idea. Like, what if we could even just get that printed on a little card?
Yeah, well, this has the wrong logo, but what I'm saying is anybody who's carrying around cards could carry around both. And one is themselves and one is a marketing piece, right? And they serve two different purposes. I mean, when Teresa, who brought up that, there was a building and safety inspector and she wanted to hand him her card from UNNC. Well, that's what she would do. But if she met a new neighbor, maybe she'd hand that person both. So, if we could get it into a little pocket side, nobody's going to walk around with flyers. So anyway, so that's my thought. So it does work. That QR code works. I don't know where it came from, but
I made it.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'll just jump in here. So there's like a handful of assets, I'll say, that we're developing that we hope to be able to present at the January 6th meeting, that are all going to be tied to like our rollout. And so I think the idea of having people have those is cool. What we're also looking at is printing up like stickers that could go on the front of like businesses that might have the same function, right? Or like also just like things that are just more interactive, like maybe like there's like something that's like a factoid about a neighborhood or a place, and this thing is in that specific place, and you can also click on or scan the QR code and it goes to our website. Things that's kind of like put us in the neighborhood and like make us like serving a function and being more interactive. Some stuff that's like a little bit maybe more fun than like somebody just handing you a card that you have to scan. Like we're trying to think about like places that we can be, that we can interact with people, and that could be like our way of interacting is this QR code. But again, we'll have more to kind of share about that, hopefully the January 6th meeting. Go ahead, Dennis.
Building on what you just said, I'm thinking that with the agreed upon QR code that represents the organization rather than anyone specifically, we can start inserting that in the printed material, the neighborhood news and the other stuff that we get on paper already that's in your house.
Yep, good idea.
And also, I just thought at Benny Potter Park or the South Seas House, they have a bulletin board. So there could be a flyer there that maybe talks about UNNC or talks about some upcoming event, like Sons Matter was going to have a movie night or something. They could scan it and get information through our website about an event like that.
Yep. No, great ideas. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely our minds are all around like the places that we can be in our neighborhoods that get traffic and kind of are meaningful to our neighbors. We've talked about like really accessible things, like even like sidewalk chalk, like how can we get our QR codes as sidewalk chalk in different places? Just we really want to kind of be kind of everywhere with this rollout and in a lot of different ways. We know that there was a lot of talk at one point about how valuable the banners were, and we agree with that, but we're also like trying to figure out how we can, instead of being like up in the sky, we want to really be like down where people are. So that's kind of where our thinking is as we think about our rollout.
And I don't know where this is with outreach. I'm just throwing it out there, but Chris Carlson and Greg Jackson had talked about doing a mailing in their neighborhood, their area. So if we had the QR code linking to our website, it could be part of that mailing, but I have no idea where that is now, but that's another way we could use it too.
Yeah, and I'll just say that, and we'll go to Laura. But another thing we're developing is a postcard that can also go out with our new logo and all that stuff. So I mean, we'll definitely be in touch with Greg and Chris about what their ideas and see if maybe this can maybe supplant that.
Or go through Lizzie, because I
Yep.
think they're trying to work through Lizzie.
Yeah, Lizzie's going to be definitely a part of that conversation as well. Go ahead, Laura. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, I was just gonna say our permits for the banners are just getting renewed for another year, just by the way, up on the light posts.
Got it.
So, well, I mean, there's no reason to take them down. What are we
No,
gonna-
not at all.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with 67 banners other than leave them up? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
but the council office is gonna get another council person, because they can't do it, carry the motion to city council for the next time they meet to
Cool.
renew it for another year. And you guys wonder how I spend my days. Just,
Right. Well, thank you guys for all that feedback. Anything else on business cards? Laura, I'll send this file to you as soon as we get off, and then
Thank
we'll
you.
share it with the board, and we'll see where we land before January 6th.
right, so I would like very much to have this on January 6th. We do have some business that if we can get things worked out, that it could be 10-minute business and not an hour, there's just some stuff coming up.
Yeah, again,
Not
that's why
not
we're
your thing an hour, something else an hour.
Yeah. That's why we're
Yeah.
hoping. That's why the sharing
Right.
it with the board ahead of time. We're hoping
Correct.
to kind of avoid all the back and forth about things.
Right. And wait a minute, let me. Okay, so I do have one other question once we finish your business.
Okay. Anything else on business cards? All right, moving on.
Just great work. I just think it's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll pass it on to our fabulous designer.
Right. So my one
Um,
other thing, and Teresa, I'm so sorry, because you now will hear this the fourth time, I think. We have a little bit of special business that are going to run out of time on from planning and zoning. So we're thinking if I can get quorum, we're having the public safety meeting next Tuesday night, the 21st at 8 o'clock. So if we can get quorum, we might push that back to be a special governing board meeting for 20 or 30 minutes, so 7:30 to 7:50. If there's quorum. Now, Charlie, I know you wouldn't likely be able to come to that, but so I just want to put that out. So I don't know if Raheem or Dennis would be available. I'm going to send a board email to do a quorum check, but I don't want to even call that meeting if we don't have 13 people. So
what date is it?
next Tuesday, the 21st. So we had all agreed at 8 o'clock, we're having a public safety meeting. But so this would be 7:30 or 7:40. I mean, it's just that update to the SB9 that you guys sent back to the planning and zoning drawing board. But it turns out that we run out of time on the 31st of December to make any comments. So, we've moved ahead, we've forged ahead at planning and zoning, but we can't just do it on our own. So,
Got it.
and that would take that matter off January 6th, so as well. So, I'm going to send out an email, but I'm just checking, quorum-ish, and yeah, Charlie, 7:30, I don't know. Whatever.
It's dicey with her. I
Will
mean,
you be there, Dennis?
Yes, I support a quorum.
Yeah. Because I'm going to attend that emergency preparedness meeting.
Yeah.
Also. So,
Right. I'm calling it public safety, but it's triggered by Dennis's emergency preparedness initiative, but it is public safety. I mean, they all kind of go together. Okay.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. Moving on to old business. I have one piece of old business to bring up. And Michael, glad to see you're here. Good to see you. It's been a while. Wanted to chat and see if you have an update. I know we are trying to still test the functionality of getting our Zoom meetings live streamed on YouTube. So wanted to see if you had anything to say about that. Apologies for putting you on the spot.
And we're set up for it. I just don't know how to get it further.
Yeah, Gabby and I are connecting this this weekend to set it all up. So Gabby told me she got all the access information, and then we're gonna pair up and then get everything all connected. So we could start taking advantage of YouTube stream and all that stuff.
So I'm not understanding what the hiccup is, because when I click on secure, click on more right here on the screen, I can click on live to you on YouTube, but I don't know where to go from there. Is that what you guys are figuring out?
Yeah, so we figured it out already. It's just a matter of connecting the UNNC's YouTube to the default for Zoom settings. But it should be, so when you do click that in the future, it should just start going automatically. So that's the goal. And then from the last check-in as well, in terms of the website or URL, it would be the same URL every time. So that, like the Zoom meeting may change, or whatever the unique identifier is, but when it comes to the YouTube, the link and URL should be the same every time, which will be nice.
Right. So, and will it just be the host? In other words, I start a meeting and then I just live it. I mean, just click on that link and it will go.
Yeah, then it'll, so when the host just pushes that button, it should connect automatically. And then on YouTube, it'll just say that the UNNC account is live.
And then I wonder if this is something you guys are already going to look into, the naming of that file then on YouTube, will it automatically pull some information, some metadata from Zoom, or is that something that has to be manually populated or changed or whatever?
That I don't know. So you're saying like when you're viewing it on YouTube, it's telling you specifically which council meeting maybe it is?
Yeah, well, only because since we have committees that meet, and then the general or the board, I wonder if there will be some sort of differentiation in the titling of.
That is a good question. I could double check that for you.
Each Zoom meeting has a name. So in other words, when I set them up, it's UNNC governing board and a day and a date. So is that what transfers? Obviously, Michael, you and Gabby should meet, and then we should do a Zoom meeting and just see how it works.
And test it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I do know, I know from the perspective of what the URL is going to be, but I didn't double check in terms of what shows up on the page. So those are good points to kind of see when we do test, because it would be helpful for if someone ends up on the page to know which committee they're viewing or witnessing, kind of thing.
And I mean, the thing, it won't be catastrophic, because I'm sure that we'll probably do some sort of manual organizing on the YouTube page eventually. So it's just a matter of knowing what we would need to, go back and do. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And then let me ask you this, since you guys are just sitting there, can any of you click on more and then click on YouTube and start the button, or is it only the host?
Only the host. I can't, there's no more.
Well, Raheem, do you have that at the bottom of your page?
Share with me, because I saw it earlier, Laura, when I was at the last meeting when we shared, I had the more button.
Okay, Teresa, I'm making you a co-host. So since you think you saw that before.
I did.
Yeah, so because what I'm seeing, but I'm the host. What I'm trying to figure out is if, when I start a Zoom meeting, and particularly if it's governing board versus a chit-chatty committee, I'm doing 3 or 4 things. So if a co-host could jump into the YouTube and then monitor that, it'd be really good. If you know what I mean.
I don't see it right now. I mean, I do see.
It'd be
security,
to the right of reactions.
I know. I've seen it before, Laura, when you
Got
had
it.
shared the screen with me, but I don't see it right now. So I'm just
So-
wondering, did you do something different with this? Are you recording this Zoom right now to the cloud?
Yes. Oh,
Maybe that's why. we
no,
don't
I'm not
see it
recording to the cloud. I'm recording to the computer.
on the computer.
Well, okay, well, I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna click live on YouTube. And what happens? Did you lose me, you guys? I lost me. Oh, that's interesting. It would require, what happened when I clicked on it, I'm not gonna go any further, is it automatically brought up, I had to sign into Google Drive, which seems like the wrong place.
Yeah, so nothing's set up, I think, now on the UNC's Zoom account. So I think that's what Gabby's going to be modifying this weekend. We tried to meet before this committee session, but just we weren't able to find time.
Fine.
Yeah, and then the good thing is we've been testing it with her other organization. I forgot her work one, because they also do streaming and thing too, so, or Zoom meetings as well. So it should be pretty straightforward. And then the good thing is every meeting will be automatically set up since it's connected to the Zoom account versus each Zoom meeting. So that'll be one less thing to kind of need to manage. And then it's
But
just a matter
Michael,
of
I'm
starting the
sorry,
stream.
how are we're in the Zoom account and I already set it up so that it can do the live streaming. I just don't have a URL for the YouTube. I don't have the admin. So,
Mhm.
so are you guys are in there and resetting, or, I mean, that's what I'm not understanding, because one would think it should just be you click on live to YouTube.
Yeah, but it's just connecting what both of them do in terms of
Got it.
on YouTube's end and Zoom's end. So we're just gonna
Yeah,
make
so-
sure both of them could talk.
Yeah, so
But
Laura, I
it
would just
should
say,
be
let's
after
give us,
this point.
yeah, just Laura, give them a chance to
Okay.
fully get into it and they can report back. Cool, thank you, Michael, glad you're here. Thank you for the update.
I
Good to
missed
see
it
you.
last month.
We canceled the last 2 months, so
Yeah.
you haven't missed anything.
Okay, wow, I missed everyone here then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I missed you, Michael. I haven't seen you in a few months.
Yeah, hello, everyone.
All right, any other old business? I don't think so. Cool. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much for all the feedback on the business cards. Again, Laura, I'll send you the file right now.
Thank you.
I'll send it out to the board tonight as well. Feel free, if you guys have any other thoughts or feedback on the cards, feel free to reply to that email and feedback away. And then look forward to a more final version of the cards, along with the costs at that January 6th board meeting.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
And then
Raheem.
Raheem, if the costs are in excess of 500,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that's a no, but the agenda item would have to say, do a no more than blah. I mean, in other words, we would need to know, I'm sorry. And do I have a January calendar? So I would need to know by the latest the 3rd, maybe better Friday, the 31st of December,
Yeah.
if we need an agenda item that exceeds $500, because right now we have an approved $500.
Got it. And let me, in previous times when we've needed like a full set of business cards for every single board member, were we only spending $500?
Oh,
Right?
no, it's just that what we already voted on was
Yeah, I know.
$500. So if it's
I
really
know.
1,000, it doesn't mean that's a no, but we have to place on the agenda the number.
Yeah. I'm just
That's all.
curious what that number what that
Oh,
number
how
is.
would
when-
any of us know this?
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably figure it out, but it wouldn't have been on my watch. And I'm feeling
Yeah.
like I'm the longest, long in the tooth person here. And,
Yeah.
but it still precedes me.
Okay, I just wanted to see,
Ethan
I
would
wanted to stay
know.
within a number if possible, but
Mhm.
we'll see. Maybe we can keep if we can keep it within 500, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I don't
I am not,
think that would be possible, but-
we're not spending money fast. It's
Yeah.
just that we can't we're gonna approve it, we have to have the money approved at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Yep,
That's all.
okay, cool.
I'm sorry, I
And
feel like
just
I'm
to
the
be clear-
ultimate bureaucrat tonight.
Just to be clear, we are postponing the purchase of business cards until we get this worked out. That's where
Well,
we are.
unless Greg already ordered them.
I don't think he has. I don't know. Did he
I didn't
email you
even,
one?
he never even sent me the invoice for $10 for the design, just to be clear.
I know, but I emailed Greg and I asked him, I let him know that Raheem was going to be presenting the business
Mhm.
card design tonight, and I asked him if he would wait until to find out where Raheem was with this whole process. So he said, okay, that he would talk to Raheem directly. So I don't know if he did that, Raheem, or not. But
We emailed, but yeah, I'm giving a whole bunch of hand claps and ta-da's emoji for that news, so thank you.
okay, great. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
everybody, have good nights.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.